Hello, everybody. Welcome to my weekly meltdowns coverage of Big Brother season 24. I'm excited because Daniel got evicted tonight, and I think this is the best pre-jury results of all time. You know, maybe entertainment is something else to maybe compare to other seasons, but damn, Nicole's gone. Daniel's gone. The BB Besties Stupid Twist is gone. We have so much to talk about. So I brought three of my favorite nerds here to break it all down with me. You say that like, you cringe like it's like a bad thing, Rory. It's we are
Oh,
all
no, I'm fully a nerd, but I just was like,
yeah.
how dare you make me confront the truth? How dare you?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The truth hurts. But yes. All right. So with me is our lovely patron. So we have Stefan. How you doing, Stefan?
Hey, I'm drinking a beer. I am so here for Daniel's flop era. This is a great night. We should all be happy. We should all be celebrating. We never get what we want in Big Brother. And we've got the best pre-jury of all time.
Yes, I totally sign off on that. Also, I love watching Jasmine with a little tinfoil hat on the feeds right now. Also with us is Brandon. How you doing, Brandon?
I am good. So I'll be honest. I've said in
Yeah.
the very beginning of this season, I was not enjoying this. Now with this pre-jury, all I can say to those house guests, thank you. Next.
You next. Oh my gosh, I love it. Daniel definitely deserves that fan flack and more.
Brandon,
Also with
I
us-
felt the same way. I'm so sorry. I just want to say I felt the same way. Like I was so just repulsed and disgusted by the show. I stopped watching. I couldn't handle it. And like I'm not a feed. I've never been a feedster. I was like watching the feeds and I was like on Twitter, like really involved, and like it was hard. And justice has been served.
Yes, we'll have a little therapy sesh. We'll see if we're ready to like jump on board fully yet.
Right.
Also with us is
Tonight, maybe.
Rory. How you doing, Rory?
I'm good. I'm glad I'm here because my stomach fully auditioned for the Olympic gymnastics team this morning, but that's probably too much information. But I thought I needed to throw that in there for Allison tonight.
Oh, okay.
A little
I
something
will
very
relay
off
the message.
topic. Just something very off topic.
I'm like, did I miss something in the show? I have no idea.
No.
Okay. I was waiting for you to like maybe go there, but Rory's like, no. Switch.
I'm not expounding on that. Okay.
Okay, all right, that's right, that's fair. Okay, so let's start with the therapy session. Then we'll get into the good stuff with Daniel leaving and getting his comeuppance. Brandon, so you said that you were like totally off board with the season. I remember you like tweeting that and saying that in our chat like a few times, like a few weeks ago and everything. So what's going on? What's
Oh, honey. So after seeing everything, because like I became a Twitter casual because of this, and
Love that
just
for you.
seeing everything because I still have Paramount Plus because I have it because of Drag Race, but I still have the live feeds because I'm like, you know what? Let me just like dip in a little bit. So after seeing like everything unfold every single week, I can just say that this has now been more satisfying to watch now. The season's gotten good, surprisingly, for once. And I'm like, please keep this energy because if this is what I want this entire season, like I can satisfiably saying this will be much better for me now.
Totally. And Stefan, like, why do you think like all of us are back on board with the season? Like, what's the change in the air? Is it just because the quote unquote bad people are out? Is it because there's like good strategic stuff going on? What do you think?
I think it's a combination of a lot of different things. I think we've seen a long history of people of color, minorities, LGBTQIA plus people, and beautiful Black women of color that just get marginalized, isolated, bullied, and they always like go out early. There's this horrible pattern, and like we're now seeing that like come to an end. I'm thinking of like Kemi and like how that whole thing transpired, and like I feel like tonight is like a moment for all those horrible experiences that those beautiful people went through, and we get what we want tonight. And yeah, the bad people are out, but there's also some interesting strategic stuff happening. I think now that the Bessie's twist is over, I think the game could open up a lot. And also, it's really interesting that we saw a steamroll and we see a big alliance and we're all supportive of it. Usually it's the opposite. So a lot of interesting stuff going on.
Well, that's what I was going to say is like, usually like you have to really try very hardly to be an underdog that is hated by the Big Brother community, right? And it's just because like they have done all of these terrible things, but like on top of that, they are just so damn like unaware and clueless of anything going on in the house. Like in yesterday's veto episode, when they showed that segment of like Jasmine and Alyssa and Indy being like, listen, if we can get them on board, like we've got control this week. And then cutting to Michael, Turner, and Brittany in the HOH room, just like giggling at the fact that these people are so snowed week after week after week. It's just like whenever the camera cuts to them, like Jasmine or Alyssa or Indy or Daniel, I'm like, man, like these people really are just so lost in this game. And I don't understand how, like, I mean, we saw Daniel like putting the pieces together, like finally in this episode tonight, but it's just so crazy to me that you can be missing like so much of like the house dynamic. Roy,
how are people surprised that people are playing the game and making alliances on Big Brother?
Right, exactly.
What are they thinking?
What do you think, Roy?
It's baffling.
The answer is they're not thinking. But the other point is, which is what I will say, which is why I forever will say Suri Fields is my favorite reality game player of all time, is she didn't say social game's the most important thing. She didn't say physical game. She didn't say strategic game. She said timing and flow is the most important part of the game. And I don't think people realize how much we love or hate a season based on the flow or direction of power and the people involved in it. Literally perfect example of this season, Leftovers. We don't hate them for the most part, right? Right.
Yeah,
I love this alliance. Well,
All-Stars,
most of them.
We had a majority alliance who we did not like their antics, their behavior, their things. Therefore, it was a bad season. So
yeah,
that's kind of how it goes in the Twitter community, at least.
So much of the dynamic of how you feel about a season depends on who's in power, who's running it, and all that stuff. And I think the perfect example of she did not change it up as a person, but Netta in Big Brother Canada 2 versus Netta in Big Brother Canada 5. That is Netta starting out as an underdog versus Netta starting out in control of the house. A lot of perception of loving and hating a person comes down to their positioning in the game. Taylor gets a lot of love really early on because she's at the bottom of the house. But the thing is now she's at the top of the house. And we don't hate her because she's not a bad person.
Exactly.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's crazy to me. And so we like, of course, like the Leftovers, like they're not going to be an alliance that lasts forever. Like they have to turn on each other. And I feel like it's kind of shaping out with like, so we have like the Pound, right, which is like Kyle, Joseph, Monty, and Turner. So like the boys in the group. And then like within that, we have little pockets of like Monty and Joseph are like a tight pair. And then we have like Michael and Kyle are like a tight pair. And then we have like Brittany and Taylor and Turner like kind of floating between the two of them. And so that's why I'm like, man, like at this point in the game, I think that Kyle is like in the best position. And I don't think it's even close. But I really see an opportunity for Joseph to really swoop in there and make him like be in the best position in the house. And I think what he needs to do is show man's Taylor, like get that going. Maybe hide the Lay's chips, be like, hey, look at this instead.
With the Lay's?
No,
with the Lay's?
With the Lay's, right? But like if she
one
were
of the
to
best
take
quotes
Taylor,
of all time.
If she were to take Taylor away from that like mighty middle. If Joseph was able to take Taylor out of that mighty middle and really pull her in as like a good solid piece, I think that's pretty much game over. I mean, I think that Michael's positioning in this game is kind of on a downward trajectory, especially after that speech tonight. I mean, everything Daniel said tonight was 100% true, and I think that like the target is getting bigger on Michael, and I don't think he really needed to win the veto this week, but we can get into all of that. Yes, Rory.
Correction, the only thing Daniel said that was incorrect is that it's going to be a boring season. I doubt that, especially because, like we
That
said,
part.
the leftovers are not a solid unit. This is a very fluid season. In fact, until the leftovers formed, there was a different majority alliance every week. This game is so damn fluid, it's not going to be a boring season. It's going to be a less racist season.
Yeah. Well, okay. So let's get into it because so Daniel, like anybody that goes on the Big Brother house and they say in their eviction speech, like the house is going to be like the season's going to be so boring without me. Like the level of narcissism that takes for you to think that like you are the sole reason that this season is good, when really like you are the sole reason the season has been bad so far, and we are really just like taking the trash out. We're going to jury now. We are in like the like second like arc of like the story of the season, and I'm really excited to see what's going. But
We're in an official turning point. We're in an
Yeah.
official turning point.
Yeah, it's like we've closed the book now. Like we're reading a totally different book at this point.
Mhm.
It's
Yep.
really exciting, and people aren't going to be nasty and horrible to each other. Maybe we'll get a little bit of that with the other side of the house, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens. And yeah, the thing that irritated me the most about Daniel's speech was that he thinks that he's entertaining. That's what I heard, and he's in for a hideous surprise.
Yep.
I feel like Brandon and Roy are like biting their tongue so much about like everything they want to say about Daniel.
I think I'll just say very quickly. I think it was brought up on the show. Actually, it's the thing of Daniel of wanting to have the moment and it being
Yeah.
manufactured. Like
Yeah,
honestly, I would say my unpopular opinion, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a very popular opinion. Joseph and Taylor's votes tonight were more iconic than Daniel's speech. Changed my mind.
I mean,
Yeah.
it fell so flat. It came off as fake and manufactured, and like he's comparing himself to like Dan Giesling in the diary room.
Oh
and
my
it's
god,
so
that was
cringe.
straight up insulting. That
I
was
have to teach these people
disgusting.
how to play. I have to
I
teach these
literally
people how to
wrote-
play.
I literally wrote in my notes, Daniel quoting Dan Giesling is straight up insulting to the entire Big Brother fandom, and you should be shamed just for that, Mr. Daniel. He got a lot of screen time tonight on his way out. I don't know if like all of those segments were necessary. I will say, I did tweet this. I said that like, at the very least, like of course he deserves like everything that's coming to him on the way out, and he's gonna get it just like Nicole really got it from exit interviews, which
Yep.
I loved and appreciated so much. But at least he was campaigning on his way out the door. Like at least he was trying to like blow shit up on the way out. Like did it work? No. And I realized I just said blow shit up as some like blue paint just like,
Yep.
so good timing, production. But yeah, like at least he was like fighting on his way out, right?
It was interesting
Right?
to watch.
I loved the show's juxtaposition of him saying, "I'm not going to go down without a fight." Everybody else in the backyard, him in the bedroom.
Hey, he was strategizing with himself.
Yeah,
it was so,
I'm not
it was
gonna go
so
down without a
symbolic.
I'm
I
going
saw
to be
some
very
screenshots.
social.
I saw some screenshots of him like looking for like a hidden veto too, and I always think that's like a fun level of like
Not the
desperation
hidden
and so
veto.
oh, the hidden veto, all right, yes.
Well, okay. Speaking of different vetoes, when will they bring back Pandora's box? That's what I need to know.
Never, ever. Did you know that? So Portia confirmed that in Big Brother 13, production did not give her a choice in whether she wanted to open Pandora's box or not,
Oh yeah, I remember that.
because that was the way they could save both Rachel and Jordan and make
Yep.
sure
Mhm.
Shelly did not win.
I hated
which-
that, but
Also, I don't recommend checking out Shelly's Twitter. You'll probably be
oh yeah. Mhm.
politically disappointed. Yeah, so I guess like the big question is like, where do we go from here? Like, do we think that the leftovers like stay together? Do we think like this is like the beginning of the end? Do we see Kyle maybe float towards Alyssa and the girls?
I think maybe like one more week of leftovers, and I think specifically they want a little vacation from Jasmine. That's honestly what I think's happening this week.
Yeah.
Mhm. Part of
I
me
think so, too.
thinks, oh yeah, but part of me thinks that like they're gonna start talking about splitting up.
Well, they've already started having conversations about like planning for the future and stuff, and speculating who's going to be bigger threats to their little duos and trios. And I don't know, like I think it's wide open now. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
So what I think is going to play out is, and like, of course, like shit could change with like this twist, which we'll talk about and everything too. But in an ideal world, I think how it would go is, I think it's pretty much a house consensus that Terrence and Jasmine need to go, just because they're like intolerable people, and they don't fit into anybody's plans whatsoever.
Right.
But I think that Indy and Alyssa are going to slip by. Alyssa because of Kyle's protection, and Indy because she's just a delicious goat for like Michael and Brittany to want to go to the end.
Couldn't agree more. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
go.
She's like the Kmart version of like Rennie Martin's like position in the Big Brother 10 house. Like I'm gonna be real. Like Indy has no agency in this game. She has no strategy. Like she keeps talking about Big Brother Brazil as if like it's the format where like America's voting for you to win. So I don't think that she like really strategically has like a grasp on the game either. So like, why not bring her to the end? Like if I'm Michael, like I want to secure that I'm winning all these competitions and stuff like that. Do I want to keep around Monty? Do I want to keep around, I mean, even Kyle? Like, what's interesting to me is, like, when are Kyle and Michael going to start maybe, like, pointing their crosshairs at each other?
When Michael goes for Alyssa. Because
do you think that he would directly go for Alyssa at this point?
No, I don't think he would directly go for it, but like when it's like, well, it's time to go for Alyssa, I think Kyle's horny energy will take over, and he will be like, we can't do that. Yeah.
Not the H word. Not the H word. And I'm like, okay, do not do that.
Listen, I'm just gonna say, bring back the Jack Shack. That would solve all the problems.
That, and then also Alyssa's not still here because of Kyle. She's here because her love is water. Come on, guys. I'm never gonna drop it. I'm gonna bring it up in the chat every time. Like her love is
also,
water.
Can this show like stop trying to make Alyssa happen? Like, did we really need that like working segment tonight? This showmance like is not working on like an entertainment level either. It's all just like Alyssa is such a disappointment. And I said at the beginning of the season, I was like, showmance. That's literally it. That's literally all we're going to get from this girl. And
the way she said that she wasn't looking for a showman, yet she isn't. She's kind of in one.
That's what they all say. Then the H word takes over, and it's all downhill from there.
Oh my god!
I mean, Alyssa and Indy don't really have like a strategy they could articulate in the end. No. What's their game plan? What are they thinking? Exactly. What are they doing? There's no way I could see either of them convincing people to vote for them.
Mm-hmm.
No way.
Yeah. I mean, like when do they find out about the leftovers? Like, if ever, like, do they like take that to the grave until like jury, or do you think that they? I would assume that Kyle probably tells Alyssa before that, right?
Oh, right. Kyle's gonna spill it at some point, and that's where the split's gonna happen.
Yeah, I will say that I feel like I guess like who out of the leftovers do we think would be targeted first? Because I have a feeling it might be
Monty or Michael. I think
Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Yeah, Monty, Michael, and maybe Joseph. Maybe I say maybe Joseph because the fact that Daniel tried to get into Joseph's head, and of course that's kind of used that as information. So it's like we'll see about that.
Obviously, it depends on who wins HOH, but I think that Monty, Joseph, and Michael are in danger this week for sure. I think one of them is going. Or if they're just going to, just steamroll and take Jasmine out because they're sick of her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like, I really am worried for Michael's position, guys. Like, I actually, like, as intolerable as Daniel was as a person, like, I actually thought that he made a really good point that Michael kind of does need him as a meat shield in this game. I think that like winning the veto in a week that you win HOH to take down the nominees and put up two more, like I feel like that's like a little bit too much like power flexing when you already have like so many comp wins under your belt. Like I think that like this week is the week that like Michael's comp wins like really start getting noticed, not just by Daniel on the way out, but by everybody. And if Michael was able to keep Daniel, and just have like Terrence go on Michael's HOH instead. I think that would be a better situation for him because people will always going to want to target Daniel first, especially knowing that Jasmine is still left in the game, Indy's still left in the game, Alyssa's still left in the game. Like just having Daniel at like the front of all of those people, I think is really beneficial to Michael, and kind of keeping like Kyle at bay too, because Kyle like needs to be fighting like against Daniel to like keep like Alyssa safe too. I don't know. What do you guys think of that?
I think you're bringing up really interesting points. Like it seems like Jasmine and Terrence are a unit, right? Like, do they have a deal of some kind, an alliance? I feel like Indy's with them and Alyssa's like on that side. I feel like if someone from the leftovers decided to betray the leftovers, they could like get those numbers and form something and take all those goats to the end with them. But I don't know.
Possible. What are you giggling about, Rory?
Well, I was going to say, ever since Terrence actually showed up on the show, because he wasn't there for the first 2 weeks, even though he was nominated the first one, which I don't know how that happened. That's kind of weird. How can you nominate someone not in the game? But, like, ever since he has shown up on the show, he has become the plague doctor, and whoever he's become closest to has gone home, which is why I'm further doubling down on Jasmine going this week. But the other more serious thing, which was brought up in tonight's episode, which I think is very true, is that we've had very strong we've had very strong players just as a whole going home back to back to back, starting with Amira. If this trend continues, ladies and gentlemen, Indy and Terrence are your final two of Big Brother 24.
I was thinking tonight that like Alyssa could like slip through to the end. Like I could see it. I could really see it happening.
Rory,
yeah.
The fact that you say that, I'm like, that could be interesting. That actually could be interesting, but at the same time, I'm just like,
it would be Enzo versus Enzo in the final two. So basically the trajectory of this season is like a roller coaster. So like sometimes the roller coaster dips down a little bit and you're like, oh shit, we're already at ground level. Why are we going down? And then the chain starts clicking up and you're like, okay. Now it's just a matter of, is this a nice up and down thing with maybe a loop or two? Or is this some demonic contraption someone has made in Roller Coaster Tycoon and we're all going to die at the end of this with an Indy Terrence final two?
It's very possible. Like we could be we could be on like a roller coaster tycoon like simulation where like there's like no ending point for the roller coaster. We all just like slide off of it and die to our deaths. Because we have really gotten our cake and eaten it too. Like this whole pre-jury, like everybody that we won has gotten their comeuppance in a really beautiful way, and there is plenty of room left, especially with like all this like twisty McTwist stuff happening. Like things could go that way.
Okay, can we talk about these twists? Like, what is the split house that they're doing?
Tale of Two Houses, a online Big Brother game classic where quite literally you have two games happening at once. So it's going to be 2 rounds of Final 5 at the Final 10, which they have done on Survivor too. But basically, like, I'm intrigued at the prospect of force veto weeks at Final 10. Of like, I'm going to leave Tyler and Brandon off the block, and I really hope Tyler doesn't use the veto and force Brandon, my number one ally, onto the block and out the door, because that can happen, and that would be so much damn fun.
This is okay. Like I'm always skeptical about Big Brother US twist, but I think we might have a good one here, and it's a good one because, like Rory, like you said, like it's been done before, like so many times on like. Course online games, but like also Survivor, like there are certainly rounds where like they split up like the merge tribe into like 2 tribals and stuff like that, and it's a really great way to, depending on how the 5 and 5 like shake out, it really could force a situation where the leftovers have to turn on their own early, like, you know, God forbid like Joseph or Kyle like somehow goes because like in that 5 is like Indy, Jasmine, and Terrence, and like Jasmine wins that HOH, that very well could happen, right? And then like where did the leftovers go like once one of like the key pieces of that are gone? There's not a lot of like room to hide in these situations is what I like. So I like putting the pressure on it. Like the leftovers have really like hacked the game so far, and I really applaud them for doing it. But I'm ready to see the going get tough for them. And this is probably I don't have any faith that Jasmine or like the convenience store people, I don't have any faith that they will be able to do it themselves. So if Big Brother needs to like meddle a little bit for them to have some tough roads out of them, I want to see it happen.
Don't invite the Deus Ex Machina. We're not gonna like the outcome. I'm just saying. Helen was pushed.
Helen was
God.
pushed. Helen was pushed.
No matter how many times she tweets that she was in fact not pushed, I still
We don't believe her.
That is the real conspiracy theory. That's what
That part.
There should be hands. There should be hands behind the wall to push them after the hour mark.
It's literally just the same set as like the Big Brother 15 Volcom, and like that's the conspiracy theory, is that Helen was pushed. Stefan, I saw you give like a thumbs down. What do you think about this twist? Tell me I'm wrong.
I'm sick of the twists, man. I want them to be over. That's it. I mean, you bring up a really good point about the pressure point, but I just want to see them play individually now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. I mean, like we did have like the besties twist, and then we're going right into this. Would you have preferred like 1 or 2 rounds? Well, I guess like we can't go like too much shorter for this twist though, right? Like maybe they should have ended the besties twist like they could have only done it for like 1 round and then had it like 6 and 6, right? I don't know.
I guess maybe. But then again, like with this besties twist, it was like it kind of worked in their favor. Like someone was willing to go on the block knowing that the other target will get out. Yeah. Like they use that to their advantage in a way. Because like I'm thinking, it's weird to say I'm thinking like total drama on this when they like say keep your enemies closer. So it's like, okay, I see how that works in a sense.
Do we have an update for who is still hanging in the comp?
Okay, so we have Taylor, Turner. Oh, now they're all pink. Shoot, I can't tell with them anymore. Oh, Indy's still in. Joseph, and who's the last one that's still up? Oh God, I can't tell anymore.
I did know. I did see that Jasmine dropped
immediately.
Yeah, Jasmine dropped at the credits, and then followed by Terrence and was it
Monty?
Brittany? Oh,
Brittany and Monty.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we'll see who wins HOH. I don't know who you guys are rooting for, but I'm
Taylor.
I would love to see. And also, like, are they doing is like the top 2 finishers like the 2 HOHs? Like,
I think it's just 1 HOH this time.
Yeah, because I think they said next week, as in after this eviction. It's because that's why that's why it's a double, is because one person's going home from each final 5 game.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's my interpretation of a double eviction, like you've never seen before. I'm like, you're having 2.
Oh, that's true.
An eviction.
Okay,
I mean, wait. I don't think that has never happened in BBUS though. So
no, that's true. But I'm just dogging on the fact that they're like, you've never seen it before. Oh, we've never seen people go into the diary room. Hi, Julie. I vote to evict.
Yep.
Yeah, we've never seen that before, guys.
Oh, I did have an interesting note. So like somebody asked on Twitter, like everybody's like, Julie, you're looking so good tonight. Like, and somebody asked like, do you really see Julie Chen? And Caitlin Herman did like a quote tweet and said, actually we don't see her. Like we just tell her she looks beautiful. But Alyssa said, Julie, you look great in your pink tonight. So I don't know.
Indy's down.
Okay, that surprises me. I thought Indy would have done pretty well in this. I mean, Rennie Martin did win the wall comp in Big Brother 10. Or no, did she? No, April did. It came down to April and
Matt, just say it with me. I vote to evict Tyler.
Okay, everyone on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. I vote. Wow, nope. To evict. We are a coordinated group. I guess Tyler's staying in.
I e-vote.
I vote.
I vote to evict.
Oh my god. So I don't really know. Like, of course, like we're like outside of the besties twist now, so I feel like there's like a lot of setup to be had for what's to come. But some people we haven't really talked about is like Turner. Like, where do we think that Turner's position is? Like, now that the Besties twist is over.
I argue with what you said earlier. I think Turner's actually in the best spot in the house because
Okay.
they're all focused on Monty. Kyle's too focused on Alyssa, and not in the targeting sense, but I'm not going to say the H word again. So I really do think Turner's in the best spot because like we all know, and I think the house is semi-cognizant to the Michael Brittany Taylor trio, but yet who's in the Final Four deal with them? Turner.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
true.
I really do think Turner is insulated for these first few rounds of jury, unless somebody is specifically coming for him, aka Jasmine and Muffingate.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
weird-
like I love that.
Yeah.
Though. Sorry, go ahead, Brendan.
Yeah, the weird thing about this, like when you said Kyle's in the best position, it's weird that he's like kind of in both sides of the house because with Alyssa and the leftovers. However, it's not like translating that like they know that he's playing both sides of the house. Like I think back in BB21, which I hate to like make an example for, Kat Dunn, she played both sides of the house and no one knew about that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
yeah, but it didn't work out for her though. So like maybe that's like the road that Kyle is headed towards. I mean, we did get some like I liked it that we heard from Daniel tonight that like he had pieced together like all of the leftovers except for Kyle, and like he only figured that out like after the vote happened. So I was like, like I wonder if like Jasmine and like Indy and like even Alyssa, geez, how terrible would that be? But yeah, like I wonder like exactly, Roy. Like he's kind of like the most like well insulated with like both like quote unquote like sides. Yes.
Which is absolutely the mark, I think, of an actual good player. Literally changing the trajectory of the game and not getting targeted the following weeks.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Literally the HOH that gets Amira out the door, and then now who wants Turner out this week?
Yeah,
Nobody.
I will say like getting Amira out was like everybody's ticket to jury. Like I feel like Amira was like the only one that could have like figured out the leftovers or anything. Stefan, like do you agree? Like who do you think is like in the best position in the house? We got some Kyles, we got some Turners. What do you think?
I mean, Turner is really killing it. He has individual relationships with everybody, but I've just noticed that, like, I mean, a lot of the leftovers have a lot of individual relationships, but I think it's between Turner and Kyle. I can get behind Kyle because, I mean, he's playing a really great game. Like he talks game on an individual basis with just about everybody, and he connects with people on a one-on-one basis, which is just a really great thing to do for your game. He's just, I think it's a matter. I think the Alyssa stuff is going to impede him, and I don't know. It's hard to say, but I think that Turner is just really endeared himself to a lot of people, and like when he stood up for Taylor and like was able to fade into the background after like making a big move like that, and I think that he's just got a good personality and a good social game. I think he'll go far.
It's almost like they're like the complete opposite player with like the like one person's strength is another person's weaknesses, right? Like I feel like Turner, like in my opinion, Turner's weakness is he doesn't really have like a good number one. He doesn't have somebody that he can go to and confide everything in. He doesn't have somebody. Oh, we see bunnies on the feeds. That's cute.
I will say to keep an eye on the Taylor Turner relationship. That could become more strategic because they talk so much, and I think that she really appreciated what he did for her.
That's true.
So,
yes. I don't. That's a really good point. I just don't want Taylor to be distracted by Joseph's air about him, if you will. He's
okay. So update: Turner just went down. Now, oh shoot, Joseph just went down. Now it's Taylor and Kyle now.
Just Taylor and Kyle left?
Yep. Yeah. And looks like Kyle is struggling, so this could be a Taylor HOH.
Okay, all right. I'm for it.
Matthew just made a point. I agree with Joseph.
Yeah, sorry, I'm being so bad with the chat tonight. Sorry, guys.
No, you're fine. I do kind of agree that Joseph might be in one of the best positions in some way. Because I think about this, like, yes, like they're trying to like. I know the feeders are trying to make Jailer a thing, and I'm
Right.
like, are you sure about that? Right
Myself
now?
included. Did you see the
No!
thumbnail for tonight's episode?
I really hate showmances, but this is one that I might enjoy, which is insane.
It's cute. Let them live their life, right?
Yeah, I'm
It's
down
fun.
for it. I'm down. Let's do it.
Much likable than Kyle Alyssa. I'd rather see them two.
Okay, I will agree with that, but at the same time, I'm just like, what are y'all doing? Are y'all really trying to make this happen? Like, there was a theory.
Yeah.
There was a theory that I saw because of like how
A
how, like-
conspiracy theory?
well, yeah, one theory where apparently there might be a phone in the house, and just like knowing that because like there was like one point where everyone loves Taylor now because of the fact that like how she went from week 1 nominated to now like being the most loved right now, which I'm like which is true, which is very true, and it's like there has to be like someone said there has to be a phone in the house.
I think it's less a phone and more production being a little leaky in the diary room about
Of course.
how America is perceiving them. Which I said, like, it's fine. I think it's fine to tell Taylor that because I think she deserves some peace after this bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think like everybody else needs to know. And Kyle just fell, so Taylor is our HOH.
Yes.
Wait, are you kidding me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
With the
wow,
waves,
this
baby.
is like
This is best case scenario.
how.
I got chills, guys. I'm so happy. like we
No.
finally get
Okay.
a
Oh my
Taylor
god.
HOH.
Okay, what do you guys think she's gonna do?
I don't know. What do you guys think?
She should hypothetically easy way out, which also
Yeah,
helps.
Jasmine, Indy.
I would say
right?
easy way out. Put up people who put her up, just because that's easy way
Yeah.
out and covers
Mhm.
leftovers.
Yes.
Well, and Indy hates her, so I mean, Indy would take Taylor out. So that would be a logical decision to just put Indy up along with somebody else. I don't know.
I think they put up Indy. I think Taylor puts up Indy and Terrence. And if something happens,
Or
with the show-
Terrence. Yes, the Terrence stuff has
I mean-
really been heartbreaking for her because
Yeah.
she thought that they had a real bond, and it turned out that he was not only like he like picked Daniel and then actively defended Daniel and like also actively just slandered Taylor's name around the house. And so, and I know that Taylor has been devastated by that.
Yeah. And it really is just like a pick of the litter with like all of these like goats that we have. But I think that like
Yeah.
and I think that Taylor is going to say Jasmine's not winning comps with a broken or sprained whatever ankle. She was like
It's not real, so she will. She will.
well, like, but I can see her being like she's the least likely to win comps, so let's bring her let's keep her along, right?
Yeah.
Do I think Jasmine's like a more capable player, like socially and strategically, and I say that not giving her any social or strategic credit whatsoever. I'm just
That part.
I know
That
we're
part.
we're digging at the bottom of the barrel here with that.
right.
one.
We're really splitting hairs with
Yeah, splitting the potential upsets.
yeah.
Right.
But well, that's a good question. It's like, should Taylor have an upset in any way? I personally don't think so. But
I don't think it would be good for her to like make like a big move and like take down the leftovers. I think that it would be best for her to stick with them right now.
Yes, I agree.
Especially, well, I mean, the thing is we have the known knowledge. I'm going to play devil's advocate. We have the known knowledge benefit of Split House coming next week.
Right,
She
right.
does not. She's like, we're at the start of jury. It's time to play. Monty, Joseph, get on the block. Leftovers are done.
Oh, I will say though, like that's a pretty like vulnerable position for Taylor to be going into next week is outgoing
I know.
HOH. for
Exactly.
this.
That's
Yeah.
she
and-
needs to play safe. It's just a matter of if she will.
I always say like the most vulnerable position is sitting out of that final 5 HOH. If you're doing that like so early in the game, like that's like even worse because you haven't like built like these like really like as deep of a bonds. Like the trust hasn't been tested as much, if you will.
Let's
don't know.
just hope that she gets to play a Final 5 HOH this season, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
she's going to be in the final 5. I hope.
it's possible.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
hope so. I hope so.
That's what I'm hoping for.
But yeah, so definitely some combination. I mean, like if Taylor were smart, like I think she should target Alyssa. Like actually, okay. So Michael needs to get to work on Taylor. Michael needs to tell Taylor like, listen, put up Indy and Alyssa, and then like we'll figure out like it's I could care less who goes between the two of them because like leftover strong, right? And in the meantime, like really just dropping like subtle seeds, like maybe it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if Alyssa leaves. Like she could have like a late like veto run. Like I'm thinking like an Ashley from BB Can 3 type of situation, which is.
Well, I
possible.
think that Taylor and Michael sort of have a similar strategic approach to when they talk strategy. Like I feel like they're in the same mindset. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think. Well, I think it's really going to come down to Stefan. You made such a good point about like Taylor, like really feeling like not like she owes Turner, but like a sense of loyalty to Turner because he was the first one to like state publicly like how like the house was treating Taylor. And you're right, like that really does go a long way to her. So like, what does Turner want to happen in this HOH? Like, is Turner? I think he is pretty likely to want to go after Alyssa and Indy here. Like maybe Michael and Turner need to team up and say like, listen, we need to influence Taylor to start targeting Alyssa here to really get Kyle back into like needing us in the alliance.
Yeah, I don't think it has to be a ton of influence though, but like Big Brother Canada, I'm gonna bring it up again just because I need Allison to add to that tally. But like the whole segment of like of like when they're making their nominations to like the 4 people they consider. I'm like, that's what it is each week because you have your 2 initial noms, your replacement nom. If the renom wins veto, then you have number 4. So literally, she already has a short list of 4, and it's the non-leftovers in the house: Jasmine, Indy, Alyssa, Terrence. Like she doesn't have a hard choice to make in terms of playing safe. It's just a matter of if she plays safe, and we need you to play safe, Taylor, because you don't know what's coming.
Yeah. Well, and actually, like, now that I'm thinking about this even further, like, I think this is how Turner overtakes Kyle as the best position in the house. Because, so say, like, Alyssa goes, like, Kyle really has to be all in with the leftovers, but within the leftovers, the pound. And not only that, but like if Turner and Michael are like working on this together to influence Taylor to get rid of Alyssa, like that's like a really tight bond that Turner and Michael have as well. So Turner like really covers his bases within everybody in the leftovers. He still has Taylor in his pocket as well. So really his only weakness is Brittany. And I feel like Brittany is kind of on like the lowest end of the totem pole, the least influential within the leftovers anyway. So, I mean, like take Alyssa away from Kyle, and Turner, I think, is sitting like very, very pretty. And that's when Joseph, I think, really has to start getting to work in terms of, but even then, like, sorry, I'm like just like thinking out loud here. So
no,
even
cool.
then, even then though, I feel like Joseph would still target Kyle before Turner. Like this is actually really good for Turner now that I'm thinking about it. Like Joseph is still going to be looking at Kyle as like the front runner in this game to like, he's going to be thinking like Kyle's still in the best position in this house. He's still like got like really great one-on-one bonds with everybody. Meanwhile, like Turner has like the leftovers stacked in his favor and he doesn't even realize it. And Turner can possibly do all this without touching any power, go into this split double eviction next week. And like I feel like Turner, like pun very much so intended, Turner really turns on his like social capital, like strategic capital, only when he's in power. And then the lights really go off in a very like non-intimidating, like I'm gonna play like fun psychological warfare with Jasmine, like destroy her muffins, like I'm like the class clown in the group type of thing. So I don't know, like I see all of this going really, really well for Turner. Sorry.
Yeah, he's got that whole. He has like no, it's fantastic. You make really good points about Turner's position because he has like this self humility and humor about him, and like whenever I've just like caught clips on Twitter of like funny clips, like with the whole Muffingate thing, like just the way that he interacts with everybody, he's just like a fun guy, and like that. I know it sounds simple, but that kind of presence goes a long way, and he's I guess very good at managing his threat level in that way. where he's making these bonds with people. He's, doing this kind of Tim Dormer behavior with the muffins and
That's
like
a good comparison.
making Jasmine mad and like making everybody laugh, and like it's great. And his facial expressions are priceless, especially his face during Daniel's speech. Like he's just like laughing at him. Like I think that that kind of personality can really suit you well in establishing strong bonds with people in a game like this. So Turner's in a great spot.
And all the while, like, because of like Muffin Gate with Jasmine, like if he's ever questioned within the leftovers, he can say like, I mean, no, like I was literally asking to go up next to Jasmine when we were besties because I can't stand her. Like I'm destroying her food and everything like that. Like everybody knows where I'm setting
everybody knows
as a target.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So I this could be very good for Turner is what I'm getting at. So we'll see.
I really think that the strategic relationship between Turner and Taylor will go up a couple notches this week. That's like that's kind of like my big prediction. I think that like they could start working more together in a bigger way. We'll see.
Yeah. And I guess like does Monty have any movement like within his positioning this week with Taylor and Power? I kind of don't think so. I think he's just
he's on the bottom, right? Would you guys say he's like on the bottom of the alliance?
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Him and Brittany, I would say. I would
like when it comes to like I think what they were trying to do to like paint Monty as the threat. Like last week I was just like, I don't know where this is going. Cause like I mean, cause like in part way, like if Monty can win comps, but at the same time, like what has he there to prove in a way to like say like he's like the threat? Like that's what really confused me with this week. I was just like, they're not gonna do that, especially like yes, it's like an idea, but like the more threats this season has been more so Michael being the physical threat, and then everyone else kind of being a social threat. And I say everyone else because like that's what people have been heavily relying on.
Well, it's hard to like trust somebody when like you're in on this alliance that has just gone so immaculately well that like everybody outside of it is just totally gridlocked, So I feel like it's easy to like to be in like your high tower, like looking down at the peasants below you, but like in the back of your head, you're probably thinking like that could easily be me, and the wool could be pulled over my eyes before I even realize it. So.
And I agree with that because I think part of that clouding of Daniel's judgment, because I actually don't agree with that. Him saying that like Michael is the best player this game has seen in a long time. I don't know about that.
That was a bit much.
We haven't seen enough. We're 5 weeks in. We haven't seen enough to actually make that call yet.
I mean, he's doing very well. It's a very clean game. But I don't know. Like. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want to keep going? Okay.
Yeah, you're good. I was going to say, but part of the dilemma of Big Brother is, I'm going to circle back to Suri. It's almost that effect of, it doesn't matter how good, I mean, like social, you can save yourself for a time. Strategic, you can save yourself for a time. But if you can't get into a power position, which is the difference between Big Brother and Survivor, if you can't get into power, if you can't get into that HOH or a power veto, you're just biding time. It's why like level 6 runs the end game of 20. If you can't get into power, you're just waiting to go home.
Yeah. So winning comps matters so much in Big Brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel like this setup that we're in right now, like it feels very like Big Brother Canada, like 9 or 10 levels of like fluidity in terms of like there is so many ways that like all of this can shake out. Like even if like the twist like didn't exist and we were just playing like just straight up Big Brother from here on out for the rest of the season, it's really going to come down to comp wins. Like there's no like really like driving force strategically, even socially, only physically. So like that's like it's like Daniel was right tonight is all I'm gonna say. So Michael needs to start giving himself some more options rather than like just having Brittany to lean on. that's how you Kim Spradlin through this, is win all these comps and still having options, and that's what I think Michael does not have is options.
Yeah, like, but I will say though, him winning the vetoes like kind of does, like, in a way, do help in a sense because like he's trying to win, like trying to hold that power, and like I agree that he shouldn't have won OTEV because like that like put a bigger target on his back, like trying like again 4 vetoes before jury, like. Is that unheard of right there? Is that what I want to know?
Can I play devil's advocate just a little bit?
Yes.
Because yes, winning comps objectively, especially like the frequency in which he's winning is like it's a little bit much, but he also handled these wins and the power that he received from these things to like benefit the whole alliance. Like he didn't.
I was going to bring that up. Yeah, I was going to bring that up
because like he handled it really well, and like he got the targets that everybody wanted out. He did. He wasn't like acquiescing. He was just like sticking with his alliance, and they got rid of the garbage. And it's not like he made some like big selfish move or anything. Like he kind of like I won't say like play it safe, but like he just kind of did the right thing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up because like I know like him winning like is much, but it's like for the good. He's doing good for winning.
Yeah,
that's how I'm seeing that right now.
Yeah.
And yes, I was just saying earlier like it because of the fact that he's gotten 4 vetoes before jury, which is unheard of apparently. Yeah. And I'm like, oh Lord, this is going to be interesting.
I'm checking on that. I checked Big Brother 7 for Janelle. No. I checked Big Brother 19 for Paul. No. I checked Big Brother 22 for Cody. No. And I checked Big Brother Canada 5 for either Demetrius or Kevin. And no.
Wait, I just realized.
Unless anybody else can like think of like.
Wait, Rory.
Tyler, I just realized Michael just lost the game.
What?
The curse. OTEV. He just lost. Nobody's won OTEV in the game.
Wait, didn't Cody win OTEV?
Was there OTEV in All Stars?
Yeah, I don't remember. We all blank out that whole damn.
Yeah, season. I blank out BB22 for that reason.
Happened?
But no, it was like an underground like EDM party, OTEV theme. I think it was like a frog DJ.
No, it was the frog DJ. All I can remember is David taking the cash prize when he was on the block.
Speaking of David, I don't know if you guys have been watching the Challenge USA.
Yes, I have.
I have.
He said in confessional this like yesterday's episode, he was like, my boy Enzo, like we really worked together in Big Brother 22. I was like, what? You think so?
Excuse me. Like, also, one of the episodes where he was being partnered with someone, like, you're still being useless to this day right now. I'm sorry.
I just like I would love for that man to take an IQ test. All right. Well, I'm going to update our draft, and then we'll have any final thoughts after that.
Even though I'm not in this.
Well, I just have to brag for a second because I have made the jury with my whole team intact.
Oh, okay.
And Taylor's HOH, so maybe Alyssa could go this week, but you know it's very possible that I could escape this week with all 4 as well.
Oh, and I know what David got on his IQ test.
What?
Ketchup.
Also,
reference.
Thank you, Drag Race.
Also, I pulled up this picture because I really think this is the most satisfying.
This is beautiful. This is beautiful.
It was game over after Amira left. Like I can't reiterate that enough. Like Amira was like the only one outside of the leftovers that could have put everything together in time to like actually rally the troops and do something about it. But yeah, I just this is a very satisfying picture to me. Love it.
Yeah, I will say. And I will say, I misinterpreted I misinterpreted before we started when you guys said this is the best preacher of all time. I'm like, the people who left, y'all think this is the best of all time? What in the hell am I? Like, maybe I can't do this. No, but yes, in terms of gameplay and not the people, but the outcome, I will say yes.
Yes, and it's what we deserve after that rocky start of the season is all I'm going to say. Literally, like I'm sure all 4 of us were like F this, I'm done. Screw this after like week 1 or 2. So I'm just glad to see like there's some new life and energy in the season.
I just like Paloma must have put a spell on some of these people. Like she must have like a very magnetic personality
Or
in person
curse.
or something. Yeah, a curse. Like she was able to just I don't know, she did a lot of damage in the short amount of time she was there. It's quite remarkable. There's something there.
Taylor's karma. Taylor's karma.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
It's real.
I'm just glad that yeah.
I know what you mean. sorry, Stefan. I was just geeking out over that like hidden like Taylor Swift reference there. That's the true conspiracy theory is
Yes.
Taylor Swift's Karma album. Does anybody have any conspiracy theories they want to share before we sign off? Because I have one.
Oh, yeah, you go first. I'll think of one because I think I have.
All right. Brandon, you might be a little upset at this, so I apologize in advance.
Okay.
I feel like you know what I'm about to say. Maybe.
Oh no.
But I kind of believe the whole Avril Lavigne was replaced by a clone named Melissa. And I'll say, like, the reason I believe it is, like, of course, like, all the evidence about, like, the handwriting changing, like, I think she had, like, a freckle that disappeared, like, all of this stuff, right? But you could easily disprove this theory by just having Melissa and Avril take a picture together.
Yep.
That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
No, I'm not mad
Anybody
at you for that. I just find it funny.
Okay.
I just find it funny.
God bless. Anybody have any conspiracy theories they want to share? I could do a whole episode about that.
Honestly, I'm down for a conspiracy theory BS breakdown in the future.
We should.
I could do that. I could do that.
Yeah.
But I will say, I can't. I literally tried to think of one, and I couldn't. I'm sure, like, I'll have 1,000,001 as soon as we go off the air.
Right.
But I will say, if anybody is wearing a damn tinfoil hat in that house, it's DJ Showtime thinking he was the mastermind after coming out of the damn woodwork. Like, I'm on the block, and I'm gonna go home. But what if I throw the veto? He's a genius. Honestly,
I can't with this,
that is the problem with production, because they did it. I found out just like from the power of Google, they did it for casting for Big Brother 23. That's the problem with telling everybody, oh, you're going to be so much like Dr. Will. Don't give people this sense of delusion. Please do not. They are not Dr. Will.
Good God.
No one can be Dr. Will other than Dr. Will. Like, please.
Amen.
Yeah. I saw a thing of Derek X in an interview after Big Brother 23 was like, they said in casting, or like after I did my tape, they're like, wow, you're so much, you would be so much like Dr. Will. Da, 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 da. I'm like, and apparently like other people said it too when I looked at it. I'm like,
excuse me.
It's something to aim for, but no.
If I'm ever on a TV show like this, like, I would never compare myself to anyone, because like, of the orgs I've played, minis rather, like, I'm a wild card, period, because like I never know what type of game I can play, period. So
I just like the delusions. Like everybody that goes in this house like thinks they are like the hero of the story. They think they are like the knight in shining armor of the
most nauseating levels ever.
And I just can't I can't ever imagine thinking that highly of myself that I believe that to be true.
Ooh,
not only to myself,
either.
but to project that onto millions of people that I know are watching me. It's just it's
so I don't get it. It's something I've been thinking about this week, actually. It's like they're so comfortable doing these horrible and saying these horrible things and doing all these disgusting things.
Yeah.
Wait, like, do they realize that like they're being clipped? And like, I guess apparently like evicted house guests, like someone sends them like a Twitter thread of like all the horrible things that they said, of all the clips and stuff. I guess people do that out there. Like,
oh yeah.
They should see what we're talking about, so they can't say you don't see everything on the feeds. And I'm like, well, first of all, that's not true, and second of all, what about what we did see, which we're adding you to see?
Yep. Again.
Also, I love this. I love this conspiracy theory by Weston that matches it's a money laundering scheme. I totally believe that to be true.
It's not a conspiracy theory. It's just true.
It's just the truth.
Confirmed.
Okay, I have one theory, which, fun fact, was covered on 60 Minutes.
Hell yeah.
that birds aren't real.
Yes. Love that.
Okay, so I was
I
watching
don't know if I
that.
can get on board with that one.
I know, but I was
Birds
watching that.
aren't real?
Yeah, birds aren't real. They're apparently like drones that are, like watching you every time, everywhere. And apparently they're always on power lines because they're charging.
What about like hunting then? Like when you hunt like a duck or geese or whatever the fuck they hunt.
Oh, those are ducks and geese. They're not birds.
Ducks
Okay,
and geese are
specifically
birds.
pigeons. Specifically pigeons.
I know. I'm
pigeons.
being. I was.
Well, I
being
know,
really
but
dumb.
like I remember watching the segment on 60 Minutes how like the creator of this theory was like actually was like, no, it's not real. Like it's an actual conspiracy theory that everyone like wants to believe, and it's like something that he didn't believe that was gonna like take off, and it's like one of the greatest things in to come of the internet in some type of way. And here's the thing, I don't follow up on like current meme culture as I used to, and I'm like seeing this, and I'm just like, this is interesting to see this.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking now I'm asking myself like, are penguins birds, and therefore like penguins are also robots with cameras?
But no, it's a penguin, not a bird.
The penguin is a bird, right?
Yes, but I'm being stupid for this analogy because the birds are birds. It has a name and it's not bird, then it's not bird.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
All right.
Speaking of
I need to
penguins,
stop.
before we go,
He has to find it. Stefan, any conspiracy theories?
God, I think I saw
Yes,
this one
that's
special
that's a camera.
about all like the UFOs and like people getting abducted, and I mean I like that shit.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love the ookie
That's-
kooky spooky. I just can't think of a conspiracy theory right now.
I can't think of a specific one. I'm
Well,
so lame.
think
I'm
about
sorry.
it. Like, so we are planning a patron BS breakdown. So maybe we can talk about this later this month. We can have the month to I don't know, look up at the stars and think about what are the greatest conspiracy theories of this world.
I'm just gonna write my own because I can't think of one.
Hey, I mean that's how all conspiracy theories probably start. So, all right. Well, we have a lot to see what happens with Taylor's HOH, but I just wanted to thank all of you guys plus Brandon's penguin, which is secretly a camera computer that's watching us and recording us all.
Okay, sure.
But Stefan, where can we find you on social media?
Yeah, I've been tweeting a lot recently, and you can find me at Stefan Van Sant if you want to. I tweet a lot about reality TV and stuff, and I'm also very passionate about mental health. I recently got my license, and I got my first job as a therapist. So,
Oh, that's right! Congratulations.
yeah. So I'm just like I'm so excited. So yeah, you can find me on Twitter.
That's amazing. The world definitely needs more of those. So congrats to all your hard work, and just know you are literally saving lives. It's very, very important work. So I applaud you for that. Brandon, where can we find you on social media and little Mr. Twitch streamer?
Yeah, so you can follow me on @MonsterCatWoo on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram. I do a lot of Pokemon focus streams. I've been doing a lot of shiny hunting, but I also do a lot of story-driven games and Dead by Daylight on the side if I'm able to. Also, again, just watch.
I watch Twitch streams all the time. I will totally follow you and check you out.
Yeah, it's been a minute, but because I've been busy, like so. But yeah.
What's like your
I'm
best
I'm
shiny-
also a gamer, so
Nice.
What's my best
like
what?
Your best shiny that you've caught?
Oh God.
And what's your favorite shiny? I want to know the answer to that.
Oh, that is hard. Okay, so of the shinies I've found so far, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. I got Dialga in 977 resets.
Damn, that is
And then
impressive.
my favorite shiny so far, Beldum, which oh honey, that was over 3,000.
Zelda. Interesting. I have to like look that up. Cool, very cool. Well, Rory, where can we find you on social media?
Well, I am an enigma that gets summoned via Ouija board occasionally for these shows, but
hey, there's a conspiracy theory.
That is a conspiracy theory. Allison would totally use an Ouija board to summon you on the show.
That's how I joined
like-
the chat. How did you guys find the show?
She's
No
like,
kidding.
let me tell y'all something. I'm just gonna use the Ouija board here. She's gonna kill me for mocking her.
No, I'll do the quick tangent for Pokemon. The only shiny I ever got, I was doing a Nuzlocke for shits and giggles. It was a Patra, and I had him for 5 minutes. Anyway, find me on Twitter if you want at Rory the Virgo. I don't post, so
Virgo?
you know
You're a
what?
Virgo?
I am the Virgo.
I'm a Virgo too.
I am also a Virgo.
And my
No
love
way.
I'm a crazy Scorpio.
That's my moon. My moon is in Scorpio.
3 Virgos versus Scorpio. All right, we know who we're voting out.
Yep, this is
Yep,
this
that's
is
fine.
done. This is done.
I accept that. I accept that. All right.
And-
Well, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and just the last thing, which I feel like I'm too early along to plug, and I can't be offended that you called me a nerd because I started a YouTube channel literally breaking down the edit of seasons of Big Brother of like who the producers actually want in the show.
I want to check that out.
Oh,
So-
I could like. Oh my God, Rory, we could do like a whole show about that because you know how I like love talking about like production.
I've
their role.
fully like deep dived into it. I used a system that somebody else created for Drag Race. If you've seen the channel I don't remember how to pronounce the full name but they changed it where they had a point system of who should win Drag Race. I'm like, okay, what if we just applied this literally to the edit of Big Brother? So
Honestly.
Is it kind of like
I'm
Edge
so
for
impressed.
Survivor?
My plan is to do Survivor next, but like I had to take a break because of career change. But I started with old school Big Brother, and I'm working my way up to the current season. So I'm supposed to be posting season 10 tomorrow, but I haven't.
Oh my!
yet.
Wait. What? Okay, this is a good conspiracy theory. Sorry, I know we're like trying to sign off here, but like production interference, Jamaica's blue ball controversy in Big Brother 8. Did you talk about that on your?
Just
on your
more
show?
so about the airtime that they're giving them specifically in the confessional because that very much is a heavy bias thing. I mean, I'll touch on some stuff if I'm comfortable talking about it, but like the thing that's interesting for me, production really didn't. Sorry for the spoiler. Production didn't really care about Jamaica. I think she's technically the biggest loser of the season of like dropping spots. But that's very common for them treating African American women in early Big Brother.
That part.
I
cannot wait for you to cover 11. I cannot wait for you to cover 11.
I have so many thoughts about 11. Like, fuck Jeff Schroeder. He blocked me on Twitter, which I wear with a badge of honor.
That's an honor. That's an honor.
But Netta's like edit difference from season 2 to season 5, like you mentioned earlier,
that was
like
crazy.
That is probably the best one-to-one example with like the same person of like just how the narrative can be spun to be either like the hero or the villain of the season. Crazy.
And for
Crazy
the people who haven't seen Canada, Rachel Riley, except villain to hero instead of hero to villain.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Oh my gosh, good stuff, good stuff. Roy, make sure to like leave a comment on the YouTube video with your channel so we can check
Yes,
it out.
I'm gonna totally check that out.
Just gotta log on to the channel on my phone and I'll do that.
Everyone
Perfect.
like and subscribe to his channel.
Yes, definitely.
I'm so early on. Please don't let it happen organically. Like, please.
Well, we do have like an audience of like millions of people here on the consider yourself influenced. All right. Well, everybody have a good rest of your night. We'll be back on Tuesday again to talk all things Taylor's HOH and what is happening with that and leading up to the double eviction. And then we'll be back on Thursday again to break down everything that's going on for the eviction and who's leaving on Taylor's reign and all that fun stuff. So lots of good stuff to look forward to. Thank you guys again for coming on, and we'll see you guys all later. Take care. Bye-bye.